Previously on Dumbgeons and Dragons.
Grancis, can you make some pancakes?
Oh, shit. Okay.
There, I got rid of them.
Am I making any pancakes for the dwarf in the cell?
We should probably, chat with him, or at least try to chat with him a bit.
We could bring him pancakes.
And then Flint goes in wearing only his belt of dwarven jewelry. Maybe you should just give us some information about what your plans are, what the cult's plans are, why you were trying to maybe screw over the cult.
I wasn't trying to do anything against the cult. I lost my mask, and I was trying to find it with the divination pool.
Did you get to ask the divination pool?
The cult of the dragon has it, and if I go back, I'm pretty much dead. I will help you wherever I can. Grancis yells, "Oh, we're just about here." And oh, the city of Waterdeep itself, it looks fine. The walls look like they've taken some damage around the city. There's scorched earth all along the outside. Grancis lands the airship. You bring Varam to the prison, and he takes you up to go see Leosin. My goodness, it's been so long since we've seen you. We went right to get Varam. Well, that's wonderful news.
And disgruntled with his former employer.
We shall have him interrogated. The council meets in a few days, and they would bid you to join them.
I think we could use a little bit of a break.
Accommodations would be nice.
Yes, we'll get you the finest accommodations where you can rest, and then we will see you again in a few days. Hey, it's the Winter Solstice celebration. Maybe we could,
Got plans. Sorry, and I slammed my door.
have dinner at my...
I shoot him a thumbs up.
Hi, Flint.
I'll be there.
And you guys all separately get back to your apartments, and it's the next day, and you hear Grancis yell down the hall, "Dinner's getting ready down here!" You are all discussing, things that have gone on and telling stories, and you all begin to feel a little funny. And you look to Grancis, and he says, "Oh, hold on." He comes out with a big, dusty old book. He's shrinking in size, but so are you. And you guys shrink down to the size of a thumb, and you are quickly surrounded by 2 or 3 dozen tiny, very colorful frog-like people, and they're screaming, "For the sock!" Welcome to Dumbgeons and Dragons. We are a 5th edition actual play podcast. I'm your dungeon master, Russ Moore, and staring at me awkwardly is my wife, Amy Moore.
Yeah, I am.
And also with me today, Carla Johnson.
Not staring at you awkwardly. Or am I?
You might be. We don't have the video feed up.
I'm not.
And with us today, and not feeling great, but loving those hot toddies, is Tom Laird.
Yes, I'm under the weather.
And that's all the witty banter we get tonight.
We did great, you guys. That was super.
I do have a quick question before we get underway.
Yep.
How's our aggressive rebrand to Dumbgeons and Dragons going?
Shut the fuck up, Tom. Hey, as a hot toddy, he thinks he's hot shit now.
He's all drunk and aggressive.
He's all fired up.
Ready to start some shit.
I'm just stirring the pot over here.
It's, I know that the playback is Dumbgeons and Dragons, but I'm going to just hold to it. No, I was saying Dumbgeons.
Well,
it's a hard thing for me to say, just in general. Dumbgeons does not roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
And anytime, you know what, when we end up on Good Mythical Morning one day, because it's going to happen in the future.
Shooting high. I didn't know this. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. I cannot be the one to be like, hey, we're from Dumbgeons and Dragons, because we're going to have to do 7 takes.
Pretty sure they do edits too, so it's probably fine.
Well, and you just nailed it right then, Amy.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I wasn't being stared down by Red and Link.
Thinking about it.
Thinking about it so hard.
Who do you play, Amy?
You like a fiddle.
Oh.
Amy, now he's going to try and kill you. In the episode.
He does that every single episode, you guys. Have you not noticed this? Russ is trying to off me.
I have some guest stars lined up in the wings just in case. Just in case.
He's been approached. I am the name that you said I was before. I play Thia Anastasia, a elf druid. A druid elf.
What level are you?
Oh, of the highest. She looks toward.
She means 10. By that, she means 10.
You know what? I was going to say 10. I felt like it was 10.
Yeah. Well, you just leveled up, so this is a new thing. Newish thing for you, right?
Level 10.
And Carla, who do you play, and what level are you? I mean, you're all level 10.
Yeah, I feel like you really. It's a much easier question for me to answer now.
I feel like they got the answers to the quiz.
I am Nulara Moonbrook, also level 10. What other kind of skill testing questions you got? I'm ready.
What are you?
What's your race and class?
Just kidding. I'm a human ranger.
And Tom Laird, who do you play?
I play Flint Firebeard, a mountain dwarf champion soldier. Also level 10.
Only reason I ask is because this episode is our 1-year anniversary episode.
What?
Crazy.
So I felt like it's a good time just to, hit that who we are on the old noggin there.
Just like where we came from, where we started.
Yeah.
We should have clips in of just us going, I can't remember how to play.
I wouldn't have to go back far. That was from last week.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm pretty sure that will come up in the episode.
Yeah,
so.
Russ was just like, that was to make sure we know our names 1 year into recording this podcast.
Yeah.
And like, what, 2 years into playing this same game?
I think we're almost 3 years into playing these characters.
Oh my God. I imagine us from even just a year ago, like when I think back, like we're all dorky teenagers with braces and we're sitting around just being like, yeah, so I'm going to use my spells, and I'm going to do...
I love everything about this.
Yep, me too.
I'm going to throw my flaming sphere at him. And that's how I imagine.
Why can't that be Thia's character voice?
Because too many of our listeners would just fall madly in love with me. I'd have stalkers. It'd be this big problem.
I mean, you'd have to really just stay off of Twitter all the time.
Done.
As a preventative measure.
Something that we didn't do this time last year and that we're doing now is we are on Patreon. And Patreon is a way that you can support the creators who you enjoy the stuff that they're putting out. And on Patreon, if you are a patron of us, you could get a special episode shout out. Like our special random patron of the episode, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
We're laughing because I edited out all the stuff we
all
talked
the
smack
personal
about
information,
your
address,
home address, your
social insurance
phone number.
Yeah, it's a new thing we're doing for our patrons. We're doxing them on the podcast. So,
hooray!
Congratulations, Kyle. You're the first one.
We're actually just stealing identities.
But not really, Kyle. We think you're great. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle.
You are fantastic, Kyle. Kyle is part of the American Gods cast as well. And they've been friends of the pod for quite a while, always making sure
I still need to watch all those.
Get on it, and then you can listen to their podcast, which they review the episodes and talk about what's going on in the American Gods cast world, or American Gods world. So it's January 3rd, and we're doing a giveaway through January and February.
Whoa!
Yay! Woo! We're so nice.
Beginning today, being January 3rd, right through the end of February, we want to give a little back to you.
Give a little bit.
We want to do a contest where we see... I'm just going to blow right past
I
it.
try so hard not to sing.
Where we ask you for some art. You know, your sketches, your drawings.
It can be art with quotation marks around it.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be art.
Oh, so not like original Van Goghs?
It can be...
No Van Goghs.
It can be art.
Yeah. It could be stickmen. It could be anything. You draw an image, or you do a sculpture.
Ooh, a little needlepoint.
Or a knitted
nice.
onesie.
Ooh.
And yeah,
wow.
Knitted onesie. If you want to go that far, then that's okay. But yeah, do that of a PC, an NPC, a scene, something of the podcast, even just of the old Derpy Dragon. Send that to us on Facebook and Twitter with the hashtag DumbDragonCast, or you can send us. We have a new dog.
There's
a puppy there
with a bone way too big for her.
Yeah.
Look on
love
Twitter.
it.
It's the cutest puppy ever.
It's good puppy sounds.
Follow Amy on Twitter at amoreismore, and you'll see puppy pictures. Where was I? Send us a picture. Art. Yeah. It's a fan art
Twitter,
thing.
Facebook.
So you send us those pictures and email dumbdragonpodcast@gmail.com, and we will post those to to all of our social medias and enter your name in for a draw. And what you're going to win, if you check our Facebook and Twitter feeds, you'll see Amy is making these wonderful dragon scale crocheted dice bags of multitudes of colors.
They're pretty amazing.
Shut up.
What? They are. They look awesome.
Thanks, Tom.
And with those, a set of dice that will be the red and the black that match the Dumbgeons and Dragons colors. Got those from Tabletop Loot. You can follow them at Tabletop Loot, I think.
Do it. We want to see your stuff. So there's going to be different tiers, different contests. So if you're one of our amazing patrons, there's going to be a bit of a separate prize, a grand prize, if you will, that you can win. And it will be one of my, I won't say wonderful dice bags, but others have said so. So we'll go with that. A set of dice and Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Nailed it.
Signed by yours and ours truly. That's not how you say that.
Signed by us.
Signed by us.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is there's going to be 3 giveaways for anyone, anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon can enter to win those. If you're on Patreon, though, patreon.com/dumbdragoncast.
God, and we hope you are.
And we hope you are. There's going to be one extra draw of just a dice and dice bag and a grand prize of a dice and dice bag and Xanathar's Guide to Everything with the old signatures of all 4 of us and a little, note for good luck.
The nudes.
Tom may have put in some nudes. It's going to him first, I think. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I really think we should probably just scrawl the word nudes on a piece of paper and just slide it in and be like, did you get the nudes? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So all the details and of this are going to be in the description, which hopefully will be better worded. All right, out. We're going to play D&D. You guys got shrunk down, and Grancis was like, oh boy. And his voice is getting higher and higher, which I'll pitch up in post as he shrinks. But the book that he's holding does not shrink, so he throws it in front of him, obviously, so he does not crush himself with this massive book that is growing in his hands. Guys, I mixed up the mashed potatoes with the shrinking stuff, and oh boy.
I walk over and I just slap Grancis.
You are very small and standing on top of a chair right now.
I don't do that. I walk to the edge and I point at him.
Yep. And meanwhile, a whole bunch of tiny frogs are coming out, and they start by saying, "For the sock!" And after they say that a few times, they begin talking in a language that you don't understand. That seems to be the only common that they at least right now are speaking. And they surround Grancis, and they are coming, and they have surrounded the chairs. There are a lot of them. They have surrounded the chairs that you are all standing on. Now, out of character, I'm not really a stickler for many things, but I mean, who would go to a dinner party dressed in their armor and have all their weapons? What's everybody wearing?
Our fancy clothes.
Tuxedo and tails.
Oh,
Yeah.
Flint. Fancy.
Oh yeah, you went back and you got like dressed.
I got dolled up, you guys.
Oh, yeah, you made a point of saying it. I believe I said I bathed, so you're welcome.
Yeah, the only weapon that was talked about in the previous episode was flame tongue, so I don't know if you had that on you or if it was like off to the side.
Oh, I think that perhaps she did because I gave her a scabbard, and I think she would probably have tried that on.
Right.
Agreed.
Okay.
Just,
what a good
not
gift.
trying to like get around
I fit it with a new handle.
But
Yeah, that's exactly it. I was like, the only person who was carrying, or at least had their weapon in the room with them, I think was Nulara. Because of all this change.
I gave Grancis a chef's knife, too.
Yeah, he wasn't holding it at the time, though.
Wah, wah.
You are all without armor. Just keep that in mind for your armor classes.
what does
And
that
you're
make
all
our armor
standing
class?
on top of a chair.
13?
No, it's 10 plus your dex.
Okay, this seems a little conspicuous and sinister. I mean, he accidentally mixes up the potatoes with the shrinking spell, and then, like, what? Were all these frogs waiting in the wings for how long to come out and start chanting about a sock? Fuck this. Thia bends down and, like, takes off one of her socks and holds it in the air.
And as you do that, you see grappling hooks come up and hook themselves to the side of the chair. It's about 5 of them per chair.
I throw my sock down over the edge of the chair.
They don't seem to stop the frogs.
Oh.
What?
It wasn't obviously for that sock.
What? Are they like the same size as us now that we're shrunk? Are they still little to us?
They'd probably be about 2 feet tall. I don't know if this is going to
okay, I'm
drop
sorry,
in.
2 feet real person tall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
how tall
small
are we?
So, sorry, they're 2 feet real. Okay, how am I going to describe this? So, if you were regular size, they would be about 2 feet to you. So, if you're
Yeah, now they're big frogs.
no,
Oh.
no. So, you are. So, Thia, you are what? 5'10", 5
Yeah.
something. So, in regular size. So, before you shrunk down, if they were, equivalent to being big, they would look about 2 feet to you. So, they proportionately look about 2 feet to you, pretending that you're still 5'10", even though you're really small. So you're 5 centimeters, 10 millimeters tall. I don't understand how metrics work.
Which is it, 5 centimeters or 10 millimeters? Those aren't... Do inches, man. You know inches.
I feel like this is getting overly complicated. I know we're shrunk,
too.
but are they small to us or the same size as us?
Yeah, they're small too.
Perfect.
They're about up just above your knee.
Okay.
We'll say. Where you are small.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Oh,
you.
they shrunk with us.
Yeah, well, they were already shrunk. They were already down there being that small.
So we are also like... I'm so confused, but it's fine. They're still smaller than us.
They're still only coming up to your knee, and I'm going to drop a
what you're saying
picture.
does not make
Yeah,
sense.
I know. I'm having difficulty describing it. Oh, that's something that...
Right? Because if they're 2 feet tall to our knee when we're real life size and we shrink down to however millimeters.
Okay, so say you're like Thumbelina now.
Yeah.
They still only come up to your knee. So they're that small.
Okay, so they weren't 2 feet then. I see what you're saying.
Thank you.
God.
Thank you for catching up.
Shut up. The way you're not explaining it very well.
No, I didn't explain it very well at all, but...
This fight brought to you by marriage.
Skype chat, I just dropped what they look like in there.
Oh my God, they're adorable.
Yeah, but they're coming for you.
Yeah, and they're also brightly colored. Watch out, that means they're poisonous.
Oh,
I've watched Animal Planet. Do they have spears and stuff?
He's got a
yeah, they
little
get
bow and
weapons.
arrow. Look at that little cutie. Hey, important
Maybe we
question.
can keep one when we get bigger.
I
Yeah.
have an important question. Did Donnie eat any of the mashed potatoes?
I don't know, did Donnie eat any of the mashed potatoes?
I don't think we said Donnie ate any of the mashed potatoes.
Would Donnie have eaten the mashed potatoes?
Johnny's a Metasaurus.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, I feel like he's kind of carnivorous.
All right, Donnie didn't eat the mashed potatoes.
Sweet. We got a giant dragon, guys. I mean, he's still like pretty weak, so
Yeah, but if we're only a few millimeters tall.
I'm not going to make Russ like change all his stats and stuff, but we can like this can help us in a way that is not Donnie just like
Flapping around.
eating all these adorable little froggies.
All right, what are you guys doing? The frogs are scaling the chairs, trying to get up to you.
I'm going to get on Donnie.
And Grancis is being led over to what appears to be a hole in the wall.
Oh, they're after Grancis.
Well, they're after everybody, but that's where they are leading Grancis to. He's the first one they got to because he was standing up, so he is on the ground.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. What's our seating arrangement? Because I assume the other three of us are on our respective chairs.
I had this very specifically.
Because Disa came in.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I was
Grancis was
sitting
at the
beside
head.
Disa near the door.
Door was over here.
Yeah. I feel like
Mole's
Disa and
over
I were on
here.
one side, and Nulara was right across from me, and Flint was kitty corner to me.
Oh, okay. Nulara, Flint, and Thia.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
It's very weird that that's what I remember from.
I'm just going to send this to you guys quick in text here, and you guys can say if you agree or not. Flint, are you still awake over there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Just checking.
There was a little pause there. I kind of got worried.
Hot toddy pause. Man, I haven't had a hot toddy in like 2 years. I could totally.
Okay, I just sent you guys a quick image of roughly where everybody was sitting. The line above Grancis is approximately the location where he's being led to by the frogs right now, and the upside down L in the corner is the door.
Okay, I'm going to get on Donnie because he's big now, right? He can fly. So I'm going to get on him. And I guess I am going to go pick up my friend Flint because he's the closest to me.
Sure.
Excellent.
How many of these froggies are there?
There's a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like there's 5 coming up on each chair, probably another 10 down at the bottom of each chair, and then a whole cluster of them around and leading Grancis back. Yeah, there's a lot of frogs.
If I can also, I can't work out like the flight statistics of Donnie, but if I can also pick up Thia, that'd be great. I would like it if we were all together and one of us is not stranded on a chair.
You're like 5 feet apart.
Yeah. He's just flying around a dinner table.
He's just basically walking to get everybody. Okay.
No, I meant for weight. Because Donnie's very small, right? He's like the size of a cat.
You guys are quite literally like the size of Thumbelina right now.
Okay. Then I'm going to pick up my friends.
Okay.
Don't forget Disa.
Well, but Disa's not going to help us fight, is she?
No, but we also probably... I mean, I invited her. We
can't just, abandon her to the frogs, though.
It's true. It's Flint's only love interest right now, whom he's not interested in.
But the frogs are collecting the people and taking us through a hole. Why would we stop and... Okay, I guess this is the conversation we're having on the back of Donnie right now about what we're doing. Okay, let's get Disa. I forget.
Can you pick everyone up and just fly the fuck out of there?
She's well, that will make for a very fun session of D&D that our DM has planned, so no.
I mean, you guys choose what you want to do. Yeah.
Well, Disa works in that blacksmith shop, so she's probably real strong. She can thump some mini frogs, right?
I would have to think so.
Okay, so let's pick her up and then fly down to, where they're taking Grancis.
Donnie walks around and picks everybody up, and just as kind of the frogs are pulling up onto the chair, and you fly towards Grancis as he's just ducking in, and you see his head kind of poke back out, and he's like, I gotta know these guys, I think. Oh, don't squish him. And he is in the wall now.
Okay. Well, I guess
I don't think we should squish them.
I agree, they're very cute.
I
know. Here's a thought. Hey, frogs. What do you guys want? It's worth a shot, right?
You call down to them, and they don't seem to respond in any way. They just the frogs that got up on the chair have this look of a little bit of dejection, like, fuck, we just climbed all the way up here, that kind of look. But they are climbing back down now. And the other frogs are walking towards you, but they don't seem to acknowledge what you're saying to them.
Thea throws her other sock down. Mostly so I'm not off balance.
Sure. It still does not stop them. So you barefoot now?
I slipped my shoe off.
I'm just checking.
I'm not barefoot.
I'm just wondering if you're John McClane in this thing.
I know, I'm not John McClane. Okay. You guys, I think I can't believe I'm the one saying this. We need to go get Grancis.
Wow.
Well, it is Winter Solstice. Seems like the charitable thing to do. So I guess bring us down, Donnie.
I'm going straight to hell anyway. But not for this.
Okay, so Donnie will land. How big's the door? Will he be able to go in with us?
No, Donnie doesn't fit in the door.
It's like a mouse hole?
It's like a mouse hole.
Okay.
So Donnie lands down, and his wings flapping kind of knock all the frogs back, and they stand up and brush themselves off and continue hopping towards you now.
Maybe Donnie can guard the entrance.
Are they frightened of Donnie? That's what I was just going to say.
He can just swat them away.
Donnie's much bigger than them. Can't he just block the door? We run through the door and he blocks it.
Sure.
I mean, they can start attacking him. He can fly away, right? Worst case, friends.
Yeah, let's go get Grancis.
You land and slide down Donnie's tail through the mouse hole or the frog hole in the wall. The troop of frog people kind of climb up to where Donnie is, and Donnie needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
That was an 11.
for the time being, Donnie can't move. He is surrounded by largely of these green, most of them are these green frog-type creatures, and they climb up onto him, and he finds he can't move except to climb or make standing jumps.
Okay. Did they frogify him?
Yeah, he can't use his wings, and he can't just walk normally. He must make standing jumps or climb. And what are you guys doing?
I run up to where they're pulling Grancis away, and I say, "Give us back our Grancis!"
So you enter into this mouse hole, and you find you're quickly surrounded by an entire civilization of these frog people living inside of this wall. It's very humid and tropical, and there are vines and foliage growing all over the inside of the wall, and there are pools on you see different levels all cascading up and through the wall. And you see the group ahead of, you've been now confronted by more of these green frog creatures, and they are taking Grancis, and they stop and turn, and Grancis is like, "Oh, you got in. Good. Hey, so I lost these guys a while ago. And now I found them."
What do you mean you lost them?
Well, when I brought them back, they were bigger.
Back from where?
From when I was down south. I was looking into a bunch of different creatures and people and different species. And
did you fucking shrink these frogs, Grancis?
I didn't. I thought I just accidentally vaporized them. So, good news, bad news. Didn't vaporize them. Oh boy.
Classic Grancis.
I look back at Nulara and Flint like, I completely regret coming in here.
But, yeah, I was on an expedition and I brought them back, and I didn't think that I shrunk them. I thought they just disappeared. But it looks like I shrunk them. And they've been living in my wall. Explains why there's some little bit of mold on the outside of the wall. It's kind of hot in here.
So, what... Grancis, what do you don't want us to squish them? What do you want us to do here? What are these creatures?
Well, I think what some of the locals, they called them grungs. And I don't know if they're good or bad, but obviously they've set up kind of a cool thing going on in here, and I'd like to kind of look into it a little bit more. Maybe we just let them lead us to where they're going, and we see what happens.
Oh, Thia hates Grancis right now. Like, he had to ruin it, didn't he? Like, we were having such a nice winter solstice, and then he just had to go and, like, fucking Grancis it up.
I don't know what kind of sock thing they're talking about, though. That seems weird.
Do they seem to be, like, malevolent towards us, or are they just letting us, like, follow them? I assume they're still carrying Grancis. We're just, like, following them, or? You
guys have been greeted kind of at spear point, and Grancis is being led at spear point, and they're carrying different clubs and crossbows and spears and that sort of thing.
This is the worst winter solstice ever.
Let's just go. Maybe they'll bring us to their leader and we can talk Grancis out of this shit. Or murder everyone.
Ooh, both are really good options.
Happy winter solstice!
Yeah, I don't know that we have much choice but to just, like, go along with it for now, right?
I whispered to Nulara, I don't have enough rope.
So you're just kind of going along with it at this point?
Yeah, let's see where this magical winter solstice ride ends.
You are led through this microcosm of a civilization here, and you are led past an area that kind of seems like it's pools of, you see in there, eggs and tadpoles. It's like a hatchery area, and you walk past a crude makeshift, what looks like an armory. You see a few frogs standing as guards, and they've got a whole bunch of their makeshift weapons made out of small wooden pieces and bits of metal and that sort of thing. And you are made to climb up to the next level. Everybody make a dexterity or athletics.
18.
Or, I'll give you athletics or acrobatics, depending on which you've got better in.
11.
21.
Thea has her pretty clothes on, so she's not very dexterous or athletic at this moment.
Sure. I should have asked earlier, but is Disa with you guys?
Yeah, I would
we
assume
brought
so.
her.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Disa gets a solid 17.
Thea tears into her dress and tries again.
Everybody ahead of you seems to climb the mossy vines quite easily, but you slide back down and are poked by one of their spears as you land back down.
Poked where?
In the butt. And you take 2 piercing damage to your butt.
To your butt.
Make sure you specify that on your character sheet. Butt damage.
Gotta hate that butt damage.
The grung that is standing by you reaches out and grabs your arm. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I need to not ever roll dice. This is an 8.
You're being guarded by a green grung, and you are poisoned. And you can't move except to climb or make standing jumps.
I don't know if I am. No, yeah, I am.
Yeah, so you find your movement is restricted, except you're doing better at climbing, and you can only move by making standing jumps.
All right, well, I climbed the shit out of this mossy vine.
So yeah, this grung grabs you, and you find that you're doing okay climbing again. But yeah, you get to the top, and you can only move by making standing jumps.
May I jump in a forward motion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
Hop around.
Flint and Nulara, you turn to see Thea just hopping along like a frog.
Well, that's new.
No big deal, guys. It's not as bad as it looks. Though my butt hurts a little bit. This magic power came with a price. And I kind of just bound around like I'm having a good time. I had some meat before I had the mashed potatoes.
As you guys are talking, Nulara, you are pushed by one of the frogs. Nulara, make a Constitution saving throw.
These frogs are so fucking pushy.
They're so rude. 19.
Okay, so a blue frog pushes you, but you made the save, so you seem okay, and you continue forward. You climb up 2 more levels with relative ease. Thea hopping along quite, I don't know, jauntily, as she yells from the bathroom. And you are led into what looks like a throne chamber, where you see at one end of this chamber a massive throne with a gold grung sitting on it, and he is surrounded by 3 orange grungs.
The troop that's been leading you, they take you up, and they begin talking in a language you don't understand.
And the gold grung and one of the orange grungs comes down, and the gold grung walks or hops up to Grancis and pokes him in the chest, and he makes a Constitution saving throw. He is poked by the gold grung. Flint, you are poked by one of the orange grungs, kind of pushed a little bit. They're a little handsy. Flint, make a Constitution saving throw.
15.
Yeah, you do okay, but Grancis begins speaking grung to this gold grung, and they're talking back and forth, having a conversation.
Getting their grung on.
Yeah. How do you guys respond to him being able to speak grung?
Well, I think Thea puts 2 and 2 together. I get touched by a grung. I have to hop. He gets touched by a grung. He's got these weird powers as well. Oh my god. I turn toward them. I think they want to turn us into grungs. I don't know that they're grungs. I think they want to turn us into weird frog things.
Yeah, he told you they were grungs.
I think... Oh, fuck. Just use the first one that I said.
All 3 of you are kind of pushed around by a blue grung each. There's 3 of them on you. All of you make a Constitution saving throw again.
Guys, I'm going to get more than 5 this time.
17.
Oh, not 20!
7.
What a waste.
Flint and Thea, you make your saves, but Nulara, you did not. And you were pushed around by this blue grung, and you find that you are only able to shout loudly. or otherwise make a loud noise at the start and end of whenever you say something.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Did you read up on Quelf rules for this session of D&D?
No, this is Volo's guide, man. It's good stuff.
This is fantastic.
At the beginning and end, so loud
So
noise.
anytime you say
normal.
something, you say, yep.
Okay. Just want to make sure I've got my language rules ready. Also,
Nulara.
I'm sorry, Russ, because I know you have to edit this, and it is not going to be pretty.
Nulara, what do you think?
What? What? That was weird. We gotta find out from Grancis. Can talk to them now? Do you think? Grancis!
Grancis looks over to you. He's like, oh boy. I was right. These were the grungs that I accidentally shrunk. I've been talking to their head honcho here, and he seems to think that we can settle the differences of me bringing them out of the forest and into this new forest, which I think is quite nice, but he didn't seem to agree. Anyways, there's apparently also something else that I'm still not 100% sure what it is, but there's something else that I gooned up, and they want us to fight it. And if we make it disappear, they will let us go. Oh boy.
So unimpressed with Grancis right now. I can't even I look at him and then I'm like, I turn away. I can't even fucking look at you right now.
Thia, I know. I know. I just want to be friends, and I tried to make some sweet mashed potatoes, and it's been a while since I used my spell recipe book, and...
You don't need that for food, Grancis. You don't need that for food.
But I put all my spells... It was just a different time. I put all my spells with my recipes.
Shut up. What do we have to fight?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'd love some sort of weapon if we're fighting something.
And he begins speaking in Grung again. And he turns back. He says, "Oh yeah, they're gonna give us some weapons. We just gotta go fight whatever this thing is that they said it is."
I raise my hand because old habits die hard from the university where
Okay.
I was a scribe.
Okay.
I say, can I not hop?
You try and take a step forward, and you find you're able to walk again.
Thanks. It's killer on the calves.
Nulara, should we go fight?
Yeah! Let's go fight. Could I stop yelling?
You find you can't stop yelling quite yet. So
What'd
they...
you do to Russ?
He talks to the gold grung again, and they lead you to what looks like an open coliseum or arena.
Oh, this is for sport, is it?
And they have different weapons set up, and they push all 5 of you through this door, and the big gate slams shut. So everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
To not get hit by the gate.
No, to
2.
you're pushed.
Ooh,
Constitution.
22.
5. Guys, I'm nailing my rolls.
Totally. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's 4. 4. Got it. Got a 4. Gonna get some butt damage from that door hitting me in the butt on my way into the Coliseum.
I already got butt damage. I don't want any more butt damage.
So, Thia, you were pushed by a red grung, and you must eat. You must use your action to eat food within reach. You find there's no food within reach. Nulara, you were pushed by a purple one, and you feel a desperate need to soak yourself in liquid or mud, and you can't take actions or move except to do so, or to reach a body of liquid or mud.
What is happening here?
Is the gold grung anywhere?
Grancis was pushed by an orange grung,
Oh my god.
and he is frightened of his allies.
Well, he should be.
So you were all pushed through. Thia, you get the munchies.
Wow.
Nulara,
that's nothing
you
new.
look around and you find there are definitely mud puddles all throughout this arena. And you feel the desperate need to get in there while still screaming your thoughts. And Grancis, he turns and looks at the gate, and then he looks back at you guys, and he cowers away from you. As you hear the gold grung over what sounds like some sort of amplification device, and there are hundreds of grungs surrounding this arena, and a gate rises at the end, and stepping out from the gate is a giant white sock dragon. And you see Grancis, and he is cowering away from you, but he says, "That's my sock!" Roll for initiative.
Hey there! Happy New Year to you, and also happy 1-year anniversary to you and us here at Dumbgeons and Dragons. 1 whole year! Whew! I'm your Dungeon Master, Russ Moore. Thank you for joining us for episode 29 of Dumbgeons and Dragons, titled A Grancis Solstice Vacation. One quick note I want to make and give credit to before carrying on here is the monster that the adventurers are about to fight was homebrewed and given to us by listener of Dumbgeons and Dragons and general all-around amazing human being, Ty Zuniga, on Twitter at @the_fierce_king. Go give Ty a follow, and Ty, I had to tone down the stats a little bit on this one on the fly because I kind of took away all of the adventurers' armor and really good weapons. Oops. It's still a super fun fight coming up thanks to you. I'll put a link to Ty's original stat block in the description for all to see. This episode is released on the exact day that we went live with our first 2 or 3 episodes of the podcast last year. So as such, January 3rd is our anniversary date. We're all thrilled to have grown the community and listener base that we have over the last year, and that includes you. Not a week goes by that we don't talk about how lucky we are, not just by being able to play the game and have fun, but to have people like you listen to us and interact with us on our many various social platforms, from Facebook and Twitter to Instagram and Patreon. We are always humbled by the fact that people not only listen to us, but feel that we are worth their hard-earned dollars to help bring a better podcast to you each week. So thank you. Now, 1 year in, we're giving back again. We gave you the rundown on the contest we are running starting today, being January 3rd, right through until the end of February. So it gives you a couple months to get in on it. So I just want to give that rundown again here real quick, just so you know exactly what we're looking for. We want to see your sketches, fan art, sculptures, knitted onesies, whatever creative project you want to do of the podcast. We want to see them. And it doesn't have to be a top-notch artistic masterpiece. It could be a sweet stick folk sketch. I don't care how good it is, we just want to see it. Every image or item we see where you have depicted a PC, NPC, scene, or joke from the podcast, we will post them across all of our social media, and those people will be entered to win some great prizes. And those prizes include, for anyone to win, 3 individual prizes of a handmade dragon scale dice bag made by Amy. She's working very hard to make sure they're each unique and amazing, as well as a set of dice with the Dumbgeons and Dragons red and black colors. And I've already purchased those from Tabletop Loot, and they are fantastic. I think you're really going to like them. For people who contribute to our contest, but also join or are already a member of Patreon, starting as low as $1 a month, there will also be one more dice bag and dice prize, as well as a grand prize of a dice bag, set of dice, and a copy of Xanathar's Guide to Everything signed by the Dumbgeons and Dragons cast. I'll post all the details on our Patreon page on how you can send us these images or items for anyone, public or Patreon, to see. Link is in the description, or you can hit up patreon.com/dumbdragoncast right now to see the details. If you're new to the Dumb Dragon community, or if you've never done so before, we would greatly appreciate you dropping us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. It helps out a ton, absolutely. And if you want to join us on anywhere we're on social media, links can be found at dumbdragons.com, or you can jump on over to Twitter and follow us at dumbdragoncast. I'm on there really pretty much all the time. Come say hi. I'm on there right now talking to someone. It's just how it works. On Facebook, we're at facebook.com/dumbdragonpodcast, and you can also send us an email to dumbdragonpodcast@gmail.com. All links mentioned today will be in the description below. The next episode will be out January 17th. I didn't realize January is a 3-episode month. I gotta get to work here. Jeez. I'm looking forward to seeing some wonderful and fun art from you. In the meantime, let's jump back into the episode and fight a sock. Why not, right? It's a Grancis-centric storyline after all. Anything goes. Have a great couple weeks, and make sure you start getting those entries in.
Okay, so Grancis is up first.
What does he do? Wet himself?
Yeah, he looks at you and he's like, I'm so sorry, guys. And then you see him kind of begin to speak this incantation, and the fear leaves from his eyes. And he looks towards the dragon and says, oh boy, I fucked up. But let's get out of this, okay? Okay? And now it is the sock's turn. Okay, and he bounds towards you because he doesn't have feet. He's just a sock.
I'm sorry, this creature is a sock?
And it looks like a well-used sock. Like, it's got some stink to it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to paint a picture here for the people. And it's hopping through the mud to get to you. And it uses its frightful presence on you. Everybody must make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm tired of rolling dice, man.
This is what this game is all about.
I'm not doing a very good... Yep, there it is. 12.
16.
13.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
I can re-roll a wisdom save.
Yeah, you
Roll
can.
it.
Thank you. I look at Nulara and I wink. I fucking rolled a 4, you guys. God damn it.
So Thea and Nulara are frightened of this creature, keeping
Great.
him
Scared and hungry.
scared and hungry.
So I live my life.
Scared and muddy.
And loud.
Scared, muddy, and no, you find your screaming has stopped, but you still feel the need that you need to cover yourself in mud.
The screaming has stopped. I mean, it's tough because Nulara would also just this would be very embarrassing for her. She would not keep talking very much. She's a very quiet person, generally.
Yeah. That's fair. I'm just going to quickly look up frightened here for you just to make sure we know what that does.
Just to see how frightened we are.
So a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of fear, and you can make a saving throw at the end of your turn to save from that. But it makes that and casts that, or it doesn't cast that, but it does that, and Thea and Nulara are frightened, and it comes forward and attacks Flint with its thread breath.
I was gonna say wizards.
No, that's a 60-foot cone. It attacks everybody with its thread breath. That's because that's a 60-foot cone. Everybody's kind of clustered. So everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, it's more than a 9. I'm in double digits, you guys.
13 for me, Russ.
14.
15.
Not that that's gonna win
These
anything.
This is the worst rolling ever. I think it's the best roll I've had, and it was 15.
I had a nat 20.
So, I guess I did roll a 19 on something
shitty.
totally useless.
So from its sock mouth comes strands of thread as it falls over you. And everybody takes full damage, taking 34 bludgeoning damage.
What the legitimate fuck? It's a sock, Russell.
It's an adult sock puppet dragon.
Gross.
God.
What the fuck does that mean?
Means it's fully grown.
Well, that's not what I
Getting
thought
the
it meant.
socket.
Yeah,
Getting
right?
this
It's
sock.
an adult.
Like from an adult store for adults.
Yes. What is happening?
I like that Amy and I always have our minds in the gutter. I feel like
Always. I'm
Why
so
do you
glad
only have
I'm not by
31?
myself.
You should have been full.
I wasn't.
You should have been. 'cause
Everybody
you had-
should have been
You
full.
had
Yeah.
3 days of rest.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you had 3
Yeah.
days of rest.
Okay. I had 3 days of rest, and then I had minus. How much did my
34.
butt hurt?
Oh, your butt hurt too.
68, and then minus 30, so I'm at 38.
34. You're at 34 because you took 34. So you're at half of what?
Jesus.
Yeah. Now it's Nulara's turn.
Okay.
And you are frightened.
I'm frightened.
And you want to cover yourself in mud.
And I'm frightened.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And the only way you can move is to move towards mud, but you can't move in the direction of the dragon. Conveniently, there's a mud puddle right behind you.
Perfect. I guess I back into that mud puddle.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my first action? Or that's my action, yeah? So much to think about. Does my grung spell mean I have to stay there? Or now that I have soaked myself in mud, can I get out of that puddle?
Oh, yeah, is she satisfied?
I think that's your action. Or at least one of your actions. It takes actions to move, so once you're soaked, for an action, you are covering yourself in mud, so you still have one more action, I believe.
But I can't move towards the sock?
You have to make a saving throw at the end of your turn.
But she could maybe use a ranged weapon at the sock?
Well, I don't
She
have
just
a
can't
ranged
move toward
weapon.
it?
Don't I only have my sword?
You only have your sword.
Right.
Great. I will do nothing. I will make a save to try to not have this problem my next turn.
Yeah.
Because I can't do any. I'm not going to throw my sword. That's about
You
all
can
I
move
got.
further. You could move further away to another mud puddle.
No, that's fine. I want to fucking stab
Alright.
this sock when I have my faculties restored.
Wisdom saving throw.
Great. That won't do it. It's a 10.
No, you're still frightened.
Great.
You should probably also take a healing surge before your turn's over.
Great. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Flint's looking out for my safety.
Flint, you're up. On these weapon racks, you find there are various degrees of warhammer, axe, spear, ranged weapons, bows, that sort of thing. So, whatever you want to grab, and I will tell you what it would equate to.
Some sort of two-handed battle axe would be ideal.
Sure. Well, I'll give you the +7 to hit,
Okay.
just because that usually stands for proficiency and stuff. But we'll give you a 1d12 +2 on this one.
All right, so half of what I normally do.
Yeah.
All right, I grab an axe off the rack and I go charging over at this sock dragon.
Sure.
Head that motherfucker!
That's a 19, but not critical.
19 will hit. Yeah.
Perfect. 8 and 2, that's 10 damage.
It will take that 10 damage. Okay.
And I will attack him again.
Yeah.
That's another 19.
And 19 will also hit.
Ooh, 2 damage, but I get to re-roll that.
Ooh, yeah!
6 and what was it, 2 bonus, so 8 damage there.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit myself with a healing surge real quick while we're standing around.
Sure. While you're standing around fighting a giant sock.
Doing nothing.
That's right.
At the end of your turn, the sock puppet dragon heaves a little bit, and coming forth from its maw, quite literally, a dust bunny comes out.
Aww.
And it falls in the initiative order. So Thia, you're up next.
First things first.
Good anticipation building.
Thank you. I'm immune to poison and disease.
Okay, so you shouldn't have been hopping, but you did anyways.
I know, I did. But now, should I be having the munchies?
No.
Through their touch is poison, correct?
No.
Okay, well, I hopped just for funsies because I didn't want him to feel bad about himself. But yeah, I'm not going to fucking search for food, even though I feel like Thia's probably a person who's always hungry anyway, just because of recreational activities. So, as that is happening, I know I am still frightened of this creature.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to move any further toward it. However, I am going to... I see it's made of fabric. I'm going to flaming sphere its ass. So I make a 5 diameter sphere and I launch it at this motherfucker. And I'm going to use a 4th level spell slot.
Ooh.
And that's going to do something.
Something rad.
The dragon does need to make a dexterity saving throw and take half damage on a
success. Okay.
successful. And then it also creates a bonus action.
Well, its dex is only 12 for the save.
That's not enough.
But it has legendary resistance, so if it fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead, which it does.
That's fine. It can take half my damage. I'm glad I chose a higher spell slot. Because for the damage increases by 1d6 for each slot above the second level. So that means, so it's 2d6, 3d6, 4d6, 5d6 damage, and you'll take half that. 22.
It is vulnerable to fire damage, so it takes full fire damage.
Ooh, you guys.
So it takes 22 fire damage.
Is it made of polyester? Does it just...
it's cotton.
Really? Oh, okay,
Cotton.
well. Doesn't burn
Too
quite
bad.
as... I know, right?
Just go whoosh.
And it was polyester, and it just... Like that.
She was gone.
It's not flame retardant at all.
Rungs cheered. It's the Dust Bunny's turn, and it's going to attack Thea.
Bring it.
This adorable Dust Bunny comes up to you, and it begins jump kicking you. You take 1d6 plus 1 bludgeoning damage.
I feel like I'm Sylvester, and I've met this, what I thought was a mouse, but oh my god, it's actually a kangaroo, and it's beating the shit out of me.
So you take 3 bludgeoning damage from this Dust Bunny's jump kick.
I'm okay with it because it's adorable.
And at the end of its turn, the dragon heaves forth 2 more Dust Bunnies, and they come out.
And we all make a collective, aww.
Yeah, it's Deesa's turn. She grabs a similar warhammer to Flint, and she runs over to the giant dragon and rolls very poorly. Holy shit. Does not do well.
And we all yell, Disa, what the fuck? I'm
and she
speaking for
kind
a
of
lot of us right now. I apologize.
Swings wildly, and she's like, sorry, guys. Fuck. But it's Grancis' turn, and Grancis stands up. And you hear him whisper an incantation.
What does that sound like?
I'm gonna heebity hoppity hibbity over there. Oh boy!
God.
Well, hold on. Let's see if he does well. He does well. So he casts magical spell.
Hashtag, you don't need to be a professional to be a DM.
Yeah, that's right. He casts 5th level magic missile.
Oh, shit.
So he gets to roll 8d4.
Jesus.
So you see him whisper this incantation. Oh boy! And these missiles, 8 of them, fly out from around him and strike the sock dragon, and it takes 18 force damage, and it's knocked back a step. But it's its turn. And he swings his tail towards Flint and Disa, because they are closest near them. And Flint, towards Disa, it rolls a 12, which does not hit. Towards Flint, it rolls a 23, which should hit.
Yeah.
So its tail swings forward to you, and you take 15 bludgeoning damage from this tail.
Okay.
And those are its 2 actions. And now it's Nulara's turn.
Okay. Well, I'd probably just stay in the mud puddle, because I can't move towards it. Because I'm still scared.
Your mud puddle stuff, you probably just have this one more round, and then your mud puddle stuff will disappear, so.
Well, it's doing wonders for my skin. So,
well, good.
Silver lining. I still can't really, do anything. So, I'm going to try again to not be frightened so I can, do something.
Sure.
That's wisdom, yeah?
Yes, wisdom saving throw, yeah.
I'm going to get so wise. Get ready for it. I'm really shaking this dice good. Ooh! I did get so wise, you guys. This is 19.
And that will succeed. You are no longer frightened, but that is the end of your turn.
Yes.
Nulara the Wise.
And at the end of your turn, the sock puppet makes another tail attack towards Flint. And that is a critical 20.
Damn.
Why is this guy so mean to me?
You're closest to it, dude. You run in. I'm just playing the game. So that's, I rolled poorly though, so you're probably okay. That's 8 plus 5, so that's 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Could have been worse. Flint, you're up.
Okay. Let's start swinging that axe again. How's this dragon looking, by the way? Is he looking like he's in full sock health, or what's happening here?
You know, he's got some frays around the edge.
A couple threads are coming loose.
Yep. But
Okay.
no stuffing's fallen out yet.
Okay. That is a 17.
17 will not hit.
Ooh, okay. 21.
21 will hit.
Excellent.
Sorry, did I just hear a 17 will not hit? It's a
Yeah.
good thing I'm fucking using
That
spells.
is what you heard.
God damn it.
So that's 13 damage, Russ.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my action surge to attack him again.
Oh, sure.
It's a 19.
19 will hit.
10 damage. And I'm going to take a healing surge.
Seems like a good idea.
It really does.
So, the sock puppet lunges forward towards you, Flint. Make a dexterity saving throw.
So many throws. 16.
And gobbles you up. You are now inside the adult sock puppet dragon.
That's exactly where I wanted to be, guys.
And after being swallowed by such a dragon, you must escape out the other end. Its length is 60 feet and considered difficult terrain. If a creature ends its turn inside of the sock puppet dragon, they must take a 2d6 poison damage.
Okay.
Good God, man.
Thea, you're up.
Okay.
You look forward and you see Flint just be devoured by this.
Also, I am resilient versus poison, just an FYI.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Russ doesn't actually mean that. He does not think that's cool.
P.S. You also touched the dragon, so you are susceptible to its used gym sock ability, and it reeks of body odor. So you have disadvantage on charisma checks until you clean yourself.
How charismatic is he trying to be,
I
having just come out of a sock puppet's anus?
I think charisma is not an important thing at this time.
I'm just trying to keep true to the character.
Sweet Jesus. Okay, Flint, buddy, how many hit points you got?
I'm okay for now.
You're good? Okay, because I worry anything I do to the sock puppet's going to adversely affect you. But all I have are spells.
No, you go for it.
It's not like I can, aim specifically for its head because you're in its gullet or something like that. It's just gonna happen. It's just happening.
It's all good.
Okay, I'm gonna gay-ass this shit. How do I say? Gesh. I can say it however I want to. I'm gonna gesh all up in here. So I'm going to, I'm not going to conjure, I'm going to abjurate. I don't know. Onto this dragon, I'm going to place a magical command on him that is going to force him, well, technically refrain him from harming anyone in our party.
Mm-hmm.
I assume the creature can understand me because I speak Draconic.
Well, it speaks common,
Okay,
but sure,
well,
yeah.
Okay then. Then no excuses.
It's a sock.
Amy, it's a fucking sock.
Obviously, it speaks common.
Right?
What did you
Obviously. It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me for the duration.
Okay. It succeeds.
No, it does not.
Legendary resistance, it chooses to succeed. It's got 3 of those per day. It rolled a 3, but legendary resistance says I can succeed that.
Pretty sweet spell, that legendary resistance.
Well, I think that just cancels out my fucking spell.
Yeah, so what do you scream up at it?
Fuck you, motherfucker! And I ram my current flaming sphere at it.
Sure, that it will take that.
Yeah, it will. It'll take it.
Dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
18,
Fine, it takes half damage.
which is full damage because it's vulnerable.
Yeah, it is. And that was a level, oops, I gotta do this. That was a level 4, so that's a 5d6. 24.
24. It will take 24 damage.
Yeah,
and let
well.
out a sock-like bellow.
That's what I imagine us up to. Yeah, cool. I'm really mad about that whole, like, the first time I try my gay ass thing and it doesn't work.
I'm sorry. You tried it against a dragon, though, so...
It didn't matter if it was against a... Oh. Does every dragon have that legendary thing?
Oh. Good to know. I did not know that. This is interesting information.
We need to do more research. We are not very good players.
And it heaves forth 2 more dust bunnies, and it is all of the dust bunnies' turn. So there are 5 of them now. They rush forward, 1 to Grancis, 1 to Nulara, Flint inside, 1 to Thia, 2 to Disa, and they kick the bejesus out of everybody. Grancis takes 3 bludgeoning. Nulara takes...
Is that bejesus? Are we calling 3 a bejesus now?
3 bejesus.
It is a unit of measurement now. It's canon.
Nulara, you take 5 bludgeoning. Thia, you take 3 bludgeoning.
You mean a bejesus.
A bejesus. And Disa takes... Ooh, jeepers. Disa takes... that is 7 plus 8 is 15 bludgeoning.
Whoa, that sounds more like a bejesus.
That does, right? 3 isn't quite enough for a bejesus.
Yeah. And Disa sees that Flint has been gobbled up by the dragon, and she...
is filled with a lustful rage.
Filled with a lustful rage. That's Amy's fault. Sorry, dude. And she pushes the dust bunny aside and strikes into the dragon for a natural 20.
Yeah, she does.
Lustful rage.
It's 5, 11 plus 2 is 13 slashing damage.
I yell, "You owe her a date now!"
Cuts a hole down near the lower end of this sock.
Ooh, maybe he can sneak out of there and not the anus, because, I mean...
You never know. Grancis' turn. So he lines himself up with 3 of the dust bunnies. The 2 on Disa and 1 on himself. And he fires a 100-foot long, 5-foot wide lightning bolt.
Nice.
That he's like... Yeah, it succeeds. That he's like...
God.
Oh, it worked! And he casts lightning bolt that strikes through and puffs the 3 dust bunnies into nothing, and the dragon takes 8d6 lightning damage on a failed save.
Wow.
On a failed save.
But there's
It
no
chooses
such thing as
to
a failed
succeed.
save.
This is its 3rd succeed, but it will take half of 8d6 lightning damage.
How many times can it use that skill, Russ?
3 per day.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. That's 6.
Thea's slightly attracted to Grancis and feels really ashamed about it.
She should, because as much as he's, like, kind of proving himself in this fight, we would absolutely not be in this situation if he wasn't such a dolt.
Yeah, no,
30,
who
so-
thinks that they accidentally vaporize, like, a species or, like, a colony of frogs and also somehow ends up having a magical, gross, sweaty gym sock dragon?
So, yeah. Well, you never know.
That's our Grancis.
So this dragon takes half of the damage, which is 15 total. It would have been 30 if it wasn't half. But it ignites and is now on fire.
Uh-oh.
And it is
Flint, get the
its
fuck out of there.
turn. And it throws its thread breath. Again.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So I need a dexterity saving throw from Nulara, Thia, and Grancis.
15.
6.
Okay.
Oh, I hate that
So
sound.
many dice.
It's the
I really
worst.
wish I could lie.
So
You know,
Nulara,
like, he didn't
Thia,
see my roll.
and Grancis. 26
Guys,
bludgeoning damage.
I'm at 2
With
hit
a
points.
15? Damn, son.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
you gotta beat an 18.
Damn.
Oh,
Sorry, how many? A million? Million two, would you say?
yeah.
26. 26. Million two.
Pretty close.
Metric fuck ton. Almost
Does
choked on the
Thia still
beer.
have that mass cure-all or whatever it is?
Just have to make it to my turn.
Nulara, you are up. The adult sock puppet dragon.
Stop calling it an adult.
The,
call it
no,
Saki?
it's not Saki.
Thank you.
Saki is on fire, frayed at the edges. There is one dust bunny still kicking you, but just keep that in mind. But it is, that's the state it's in. You no longer feel like you need to cover yourself in mud, but you saved from frightened. So
Yep.
you can do what you need to do.
Great. I'm going to attack the sock monkey instead of doing nothing, which is what I've done this whole time. That is 27 to attack.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you run forward and you slice into Saki.
Great. So that is 14 damage.
Yeah, it is.
It will take that. Some of that's fire, yes?
Yeah, what was fire? Sorry, I already picked up my dice. No, I didn't. 5 of that was fire.
So it takes an extra 5. So 19 total.
Okay, I'm going to attack it again.
Yeah.
That is a 22.
That will hit.
So 4 fire damage,
So 8 total.
and 9 piercing damage.
You strike into Saki, and it lets out a moaning, dry bellow as it falls down, and you slice into its body?
Tube?
Tube? And it is dead. And you see Flint crawling through the threaded mess, and he emerges from the hole you cut into this sock, and you hear a hush among the grungs, and then an enormous cheer at the end that you have defeated the sock puppet dragon. And the gates are opened at either end of the arena, and the gold grung and the orange grungs are hopping forward to come meet you.
I limp in front because I'm not doing very good. I have 2 hit points left. I limp in front of people and I go, no touchy! No, and I wag my finger. And I'm just like, mm-mm. I know they can understand that. Mm-mm.
The other dust bunnies kind of just poof out of existence.
The gold grung hears you say no touchy, and he's kind of shrugging and poking in your direction.
Shaking his finger at you like he's trying to tell you that he needs to touch somebody.
I put my hand out. Mm.
And he touches your hand, and you can't be poisoned. So
I go, psych!
nothing
And I
happens
push
to you.
Grancis towards him.
Okay, so Grancis goes towards him, and he touches Grancis again, and you see them talking in grung for quite a while.
Which sounds like... It's very
For
musical.
quite a while.
It
Yeah,
was,
well, they're
it was kind of
frogs.
pleasant in like a unpleasant kind of way.
Yeah. And he turns to you and he's like, guys, so they're gonna let us go. I just have to make sure that I get them back to where they came from. I mean, it's gonna be tough, because originally I came with 2 grungs, and now there are a lot of grungs. But that's for me to deal with. I'll deal with that at a later date. Anyways, we can go. They're gonna lead us out. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good.
I guess thanks
Good job, everybody.
for getting us into this.
Yeah.
I need a nap. Thia's thoroughly cranky. Her high's worn off. She didn't get to have mashed potatoes.
You did have mashed potatoes. That's why we're in this predicament.
Bite of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, it's a powerful spell. So they lead you out, and you get back into the living area, and you see the grungs kind of just surrounding Donnie. Every now and again, one of them pokes him so that he can't really do anything.
Poor Donnie.
Ah.
Yeah. And he's like, guys, we shouldn't fight these frogs anymore, ever. Always. Grancis runs over to his book, and he's like, I need a hand flipping the pages. Somebody help me flip the pages. Somebody.
Okay, yep.
So you guys go over and flip through this big dusty book, and he gets to the page that he needs, and he starts whispering, "Oh, golly gee willikers, on Sunday sun, a swash banana, bibbity bobbity hoda!" And he casts enlarge on everybody.
It was slightly Lion King, slightly Jewish. I like it.
Yep.
It's good.
And everybody grows back to their normal size.
Yay.
Except the grungs, because there's a lot of grungs, and he's like, I'll deal with the grungs at a later time. I promise, grungs, if you can hear me down there. And you see them all. It's like
Flip him the bird and walk
It's like
off?
a bunch of like fleas kind of just running across the floor, and they get back into the wall. Yeah, and flip them off as they all run away. I made some pie.
No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I look at them and I go, drinks in my room?
Sounds good.
So you guys all lead out. Disa's going with you. She doesn't talk very much, apparently.
Apparently not once.
Not once. Sorry, Disa. Nobody engaged her, so I'm just saying.
We had our own shit going on.
It has been an unsettling meal.
She also took a pretty good beating at the hands of the or at the dust bunnies.
Dust bunny,
Yeah.
true. She did get, like, blind dated onto, well, I guess not blind dated, but she came to a setup Christmas
like
dinner.
Roger Lodge could have been there.
I'm
And
thinking,
then-
like, was this like old school catfishing? I'm like, no, yeah, you should.
You should totally come meet
He
my
wants
friend.
you there.
And then
Yeah.
and then get kidnapped by tiny frogs.
Where the guy I set you up with doesn't talk to you the entire time
Yeah,
you
so-
are like kidnapped by tiny frogs.
Yeah, so
Classic.
Disa, she kind of follows you, and she's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go.
Disa, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you guys get into some weird shit.
There's a reason why they call us the.
Weird shit.
I'm hoping one time it's just gonna really come naturally. Like,
Love it.
yeah.
You're trying for us to just volunteer something.
I
But
like that you keep going for it.
So yeah, I'll Flint, next time you're in, maybe just stop by the store. I think my dad wanted you to check into some things. Anyways, I'll catch up with you guys another time. And she hobbles out.
Oh man, she hobbles now.
Yeah.
Gosh, she'll.
But you guys go get drinks in Thia's room.
To fucking frogs, am I right?
I think we gotta ditch Grancis, guys. Like, this is too much. Thea, you're with me, right?
I don't know. His cool songs when he's casting spells are pretty great.
I can I cast a spell if we're not in like combat?
Yeah.
Anyone else hurting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds, or no, I shouldn't do that. We can just rest in my
We'll
room,
just
right?
You're all just chilling.
We're
Yeah,
just gonna chill.
There's no immediate
Let's just
danger.
say I Mass Cure Wounds because I'm a badass, so we can all feel a little better and have less of a hangover later. Even though I know we're having a long rest, and I'm gonna get that spell slot back anyway. So why don't I just take,
I like this mass cure wounds to prevent hangover.
I was gonna say, why don't I just take
Some people say it's a glass of water before you go to bed, but no, it's a mass cure wound spell.
it's certainly a Mass Cure Wounds. I was just gonna take oh my god, I can't think of the word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not responsibility, like I'm gonna take, oh you guys, come on.
Proactive.
Carla, you're sober. Come on now.
I don't even know where you're going with what you're saying, though, my friend.
Like when you're like, I totally did that, like that was all me.
Like ownership?
Ownership.
No, not ownership, like, but you're proud of it. Like you're like, that was me. This is the episode where they try to figure out the word for, oh my god, you guys, there's a word for it. This is gonna drive me crazy.
Anyway, so just carry on with this Grancis talk. Right?
Fuck Grancis. Let's ditch him. Like, I mean, sure, he has an airship.
Well, maybe we can still get one more ride with him, because he's got to head to take those little cute froggy dudes back, right? Where they came from?
Yeah, but where is he going and where do we need to go?
Probably not something we're going to solve having drinks on Christmas night.
Well, no. And I mean, we have that meeting.
Yeah, I was just trying to leave us an opening for a faster overland travel instead of having to go and
Oh, no, fair
get
enough. So
other adventures on our next trip somewhere.
fair. Oh, I think this could be leverage. hey, remember that time you shrunk us and those frogs kidnapped us? Listen, we need to go into the spooky mountains. I don't know any of the landscape around us.
The spooky mountains sound awesome,
give me like
though.
a more.
Well, right now you're in a major metropolis city,
No,
which
I
is
know
surrounded
that,
by
but
ocean.
like, no, but like, if we had to go somewhere, like where we went to like the snowy place.
Check your guys' quest log. You guys have a place you need to go. Anyways, yeah, you can definitely use that as leverage. So you guys have drinks and you jovially talk about all your Winter Solstice endeavors here with Grancis, and you rest. You feel good after your rest. Much better than being beaten the shit out of by a sock. So the next day, you are called upon by Leosin, and he leads you to where the council is having their meeting. And he says, guys, I just warn you, things are a little tough right now. Nobody's getting along, and you're going to walk into something that's a little hairy. Just be prepared to talk it out and justify things that have happened and will happen, and know that
that you're behind us.
That
we have support here.
You have support from all those that matter.
Long story short, there's been a death, an apparent suicide that some people believe may have been a murder.
Who was murdered?
One of the delegates on the council for the Harpers.
How is it done?
It appears to be a suicide, but there are clues that maybe lead to the fact that it might not have been so cut and dry.
Great. So it's like CSI Miami now. Who's going to whip off their sunglasses? Somebody say something witty.
They suspect that maybe one of the Zentarum, the Black Network, yes, you know who they are, go back to episode 2, might have been in on it. That's all the information we have right now. And he opens the door, and you see the entire council chamber barking and yelling at each other, screaming across the room. It's mayhem and chaos. And you look to the head of the table where the last time you were here, you saw Lord Neverember. You see Lady Laryl Silverhand, and she is sitting at the head of the table, and Lord Neverember is not there.
Doc keeps adding me. What's that? Tagging me? Mentioning me?
Mentioning you.
Mentioning me on Twitter, and Russ has to show me on his phone.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't even get that notification. I don't do a very good job at the Twitter.
Well, it's because you don't do it at all, but...
I have other things going on. You know how much I'm knitting right now?
So much, I imagine.
Well, it is the holiday season, so...
These hats aren't going to knit themselves.
Right? I'm in the middle of a hat right now.
You know what I'm saying, Vern?
Cool. Shirley?
Yeah. Not Laverne.
I like that I was going to make fun of Russ for his super dated reference, and somehow Amy made an even more dated reference.
It was pretty impressive.
Amazing.
We're made for each
You
other.
are. It's so sweet.
I mean, I use that Ernest Vern thing quite a lot, but it's most top of mind because Ernest Saves Christmas was on TV there the other night. So, and this is in the past, obviously, because this episode comes out January 3rd. So, yeah. Anyways, do you want?
Don't believe that, people. Russ was just watching his well-worn VHS copy of Ernest Saves Christmas.
His once weekly viewing of Ernest Saves Christmas throughout the year.
I just rotate through
For his new podcast,
all of the
Ernest Saves Christmas minute by minute.
Let's do
my
that.
my favorite.
That's fun.
Should we have a spin-off podcast?
It could
about
be
the
our
random shit we talk about on this podcast.
It could be our Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Could be that one for us.
Oh, boy.
We watch Ernest Saves Christmas once a year, but not on Christmas. Has to be mid-July.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it has to be January 2nd.
Okay, apparently I have to go get another beer, so pausing what we're actually doing, you guys, make small banter that people would want to listen to.
Ooh.
God, small banter as opposed to the incredible large banter we usually make. These are...
Well, we're usually so gregarious with our banter.
Okay. What kind of secrets can I spill about Russ?
Oh, yes.
Nothing, because he edits this. It really takes out any sort of surprise, creative license.
What's his middle name?
David.
No, I think I knew that. Boring. What else you got?
Oh, God.
I wanted it to be like Aloysius or something. Not that there's anything wrong with the name Aloysius, it just doesn't really suit Russ, per se.
No. I think he'd be like a good Atticus.
Oh, that's fun.
Like
yes,
Russell
definitely.
Atticus Moore.
Oh, that's his new one. We just changed it.
Oh,
good news for him when he gets back. Or when he edits this.
Right? This is how laws are made and names are changed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to say it in a
It's
public
canon now.
official capacity, as we are.
Yes, this very official capacity.
So very official.
Well, we are all
this is
notable
legally
ones,
binding.
so...
Russ is back. Catch you up to speed.
Oh, okay.
You have a new middle name.
Okay, what's my middle name?
It's Atticus.
Atticus. All right. I can get on board with that.
Make a note, get the whiteout for the old birth certificate.
Yep. You got it. Nailed it.
Oh, you don't like talking to yourself. I take it back. I push Flint toward him.
You push Grancis towards him. It's fine.
You don't want to make hot toddy talk?
I can do whatever you want. Who wants to be touched by a grung?
Oh, no. Nobody admit to that.
Grancis gets touched by a grung. They talk in grung.